Get too much sunlight light on me. Okay, where have we been? The stomach flu has taken over my area, and sadly, David and I have both had it. And right now, my dad is sick with it. I didn't give it to him though; it was separate instances. I came home from down there was the day before, a couple days before Christmas. And then Oscar passed away, and I haven't seen him since. I was supposed to go back down, but after Oscar passed away, and then these snowstorms that keep hitting us, I haven't gone anywhere. And then you can see the cold is getting to me. I wouldn't have gotten up today, but I had to go in and do blood work for my endocrinologist. And we're waiting for the winter storm to hit us, so it should be hitting us tomorrow morning, early morning. David has been unable to work. I think he's worked 3 days in the last 2.5 weeks. He's worked in the first shed, but he's just going crazy because he's a man that he works. He doesn't like to not work. He is a creature of habit, and so if he's not working, he's very upset and irritated. So that's been fun. And I've been looking at sables that we have to try to make a fur mantle for like a Renaissance fair costume. And other than that, like the whole house kind of stopped when the stomach bug hit us, and we just kind of crumpled. Boy, my hair is flat. I had on toboggan this morning. My hair looks horrible. But I did get an email from, oh gosh, you know who you are. Mary? Names. I've been sick, and my brain's not working. Hey, Kim, didn't I just see you? Hi, Heather. Well, we're getting there. It's been weird because I don't know, and Kim can vouch for this, the whole area here is sick. Like everybody in our community is sick. Everybody's got something. Every house is touched by some kind of sickness. And you would think that we're being isolated and holed up, that it would be very difficult to catch anything. But I guess David goes out and about just enough, drag stuff around, drag stuff home. But now I'm surprised that Dad got sick after everyone else, because Dad is normally in the thick of things and going to co-op and talking to people, and so it's kind of strange that Dad waited this long to get sick. So, but it seems like we've not had the flu yet. Thank God, knock on particle board. I don't want the flu. And I wouldn't have gone to the doctor if I had to do blood work, which took forever. Kim actually took me this morning, so it took forever this morning. And I have just not rested. I'm not resting good because it's been so cold. We just keep the wood stove burning so that the furnace doesn't have to run that much. And it's just been a rough existence the last few weeks. Just the last couple of weeks since Oscar passed away, it just the world just kind of went through. And all I'm worried about is keeping dishes done, keeping food made, and fire burning. And that's basically all I worry about. I would like to say, yay! And the channel has finally we're at like $90, almost $91. You have to get to 100 before they can dispense a check. So I'm hoping that we hit the $100 mark before the next time they dispense checks. And if that goes through, then what we'll do is split it for donations. And so I'm excited. David's excited. He thought it would take a lot longer for us to get to the initial 100 and start bringing in enough to really share with the North Carolina churches and stuff. And so he's been kind of set back by this. He's been wanting to do more content. He's just in the last 2 weeks where he's not worked very much because when it's snow on the ground and the ground's frozen, they can't work. He's just been trying to do as much in the first shed to bring in money as possible to keep bills paid. And thank God we live simple and don't have a lot of extravagance, because Colin, bless your heart, honey, you don't have to do that. I'm going to get your address and stuff's just going to show up at your house because you do that way too often, Colin. Oh, Lord, Colin. You don't have to do that. I appreciate you so much, but don't feel as if you have to give. Just watching my videos has helped tremendously. Just in sharing the channel and telling people, hey, this is neat, go watch this. I am probably going to set up my iPad and video me making the fur mantle. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I've never made a mantle before. It's just a shoulder shrug. I've never made one before. I do have clasps coming in. I didn't want to make a homemade clasp. I wanted to actually get a clasp. And because a lot of the Renaissance fairs, I noticed they have fur, but they have really pretty extravagant clasps and buckles and stuff. So I wanted to buy a clasp. And so that's on its way coming in. And it's like $4 a piece, which is not bad, because I have the fur and everything else. I'm going to go the first weekday it isn't snowmageddon or butthole below. It's so cold here. Today's like, it got to 29 or 31 right around through there today. And this is the warmest day we've had in a few days. It was like 10 here last night. And it was about 3 o'clock. It was 10 degrees in the morning at 3 o'clock. And I thought, well, that's no wind chill. Like no wind chill. It was just cold. It's just cold. And so the storm's starting to hit Memphis here in the next few hours, and then we're supposed to get it around between 7 and 11 in the morning. It's supposed to hit and fully enforce hit us. They're saying 3 to 6 inches. Now I'm just going to tell you, they get it wrong. We either get nothing or we get way too much. I know Colin he's a sweetie pie. Gypsy, you should not have done that, Gypsy. Gypsy. I have a box that has to come to you. I was hoping it would come with me attached. It might if the weather changes. I saw a 40-degree day coming up like next Friday, and I got excited. How sad is that? But anyway, I'm making fur mantles. I've got the clasps coming in, and I'm excited. But I think I'm just going to set my iPad up, and y'all can watch me. I may speed it up when I do the video, but y'all can watch me make the mantle. See how I go through the problems and negotiate the terms as things change when I make stuff, and just kind of see my process when I make stuff. I literally sit with it and just start. And if what I do doesn't work, I back up and try another avenue. I saw a lot of mantles going on Etsy for like $200 and something. And I thought, no, there's got to be somebody out there that wants to go to the Renaissance Fair, wants to have a mantle, doesn't know how to make one, but would be able to buy one for the $60 to $80 mark. I have vintage and antique fur sables. I've been using them for gnome beards, but I have got so many. I have just collected them. Every time I see them, I grab them. And I thought that would be a great way to recycle those fur sables, give them a new life, and use them in something that they're meant to be, draped. And I just need to, the next time I go to Muddy Pond, I need to jump in the scrap leather bin. It's my favorite place. I just dive right in and get some suede. So on some of them, I can do draped leather. Some of them I probably won't put a backing on because they have that sable backing. But some of them I want to do some draped leather for more of the manly man ones. But I thought with minimal what stuff needed, like leather. I've got the fur. I might need leather and a clasp. I've got all my thread. I've got all my leather work needles and stuff like that. I need an edger. I need a new edger to bring down the edge of the leather so it bends better. That's like a $6 issue, and I'll keep it forever, so that's not a problem. People know it's going to snow. Kim, I was wondering if you went there. Oh, and next time I see you, Kim, I've got gas money in my pocketbook for you. You're at work alone till midnight. Bless your heart. I really wanted to put some content out, but I have just been jet lagged, tired, dealing with a whole bunch of change in the home. I'm still not quite over Oscar not being right behind me everywhere I go. It's been kind of hard to muddle through it. And oh gosh, Temu has so much stuff that I ordered like back around Thanksgiving got stuck in customs. I don't know if maybe they needed Christmas and just thought they would have it with my packages. I don't know. But it all finally got here. Well, Temu, in consequence, had to pay me back for all those late, like they were beyond like a month. They had to pay me back for the complete order. The orders finally got here, but they had to pay me back. So I was able to do a Temu order last night, a few days ago. Some of it's local warehouse. So as stuff comes in, I'll set it aside, and we will have a Temu haul soon. And Temu paid for it. That was nice. I thought that was very nice. Oh, I've got Hondo's collar, Hondo's tag. I've got his raised food and water bowl. I've got his bed, and I've got his heating mat. I've got toys for him. I've stocked up on food. We're just waiting for the weather to break for play dates and stuff because I don't want to bring him over here and have him freak out and me not be able to get him back to his pack. I don't want him stuck here if it's going to storm, snow, and him freak out. So I'm looking forward to that. But I have basically lived in just like 2 rooms of my house because of the weather and needing to keep a fire going. That's where I've needed to be, and that's where I've been unless I've had to walk out and make food or do dishes or something. And it just, the last couple of weeks has been not pleasant. Not pleasant. And I know that a lot of people have it worse, and so I try not to complain, but I'm just here. This reminds me of my childhood winters, and I don't like it. We don't need to relive that. Under 1 million gallons of seawater. Somebody has to do it. I don't know if I'd be able to do that. I think I'm claustrophobic. I think it would probably flips out more stage. I got him a gold pet tag. It's on the table. It's 20 foot that way. Yeah, it's just been a weird winter so far. And as soon as the weather breaks, we'll probably go back down to the farm and spend some time down there. I've got to take some coyote pelts, and I'm going to attempt mittens. I've never made mittens. It's only five pieces basically for each mitt. It's small pieces. It's not a big deal. It's cutting them out and making sure you have everything turned the right way because on the thumb and the palm, it's suede. So I need to go dive in Mr. Bowman's scrap leather bin. It's suede. So that's getting it turned right and sewing it. That's about the only thing. Mom has plenty of the liner that they put in them. And so we were just going to try a pair and see how they go. If they sew easy and it's something I think I want to continue, then Mom's got that industrial Juki machine. She said, go ahead and use it. I'm going to start doing some more rustic bags. They seem to go well, but I'm really wanting to try this fur mantle because I'm like, hey, kids out there going to Renaissance fairs, I'll make you a mantle that's not going to break the bank, okay? Of course, it's David's fur and stuff, but I'll put it together. I'm bored. I'm so bored. I'll put it together, and I told David, I said, I want to make one of these. So, what can I use? And he was going to offer up one of the coyotes, and I went, well, hang on, I've got those sables. I can make those less expensive for the person to purchase. And it'll give somebody that's wanting to go to a Renaissance fair a fur mantle that didn't break the bank because, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, but this lady had a fox pelt on there. It didn't have leather or anything underneath it. It only had a clasp sewed to it. It wasn't made to drape. She had just pulled the fox foot to nose and put a clasp. And I thought, the only thing you did was add a $5 clasp, and you raised the value of that fur from $60 to $224. I don't think so, lady. I don't think so. And I thought, that would have been like a $80 to $100 deal for me because all you really do is the cost of the fur because it's a whole pelt. So the cost of the pelt plus the clasp and your time. And then you make a fair price. I just don't think these people on Etsy have fair prices. I don't. And I've just measured and taken pictures of 2 of the big boy beaver pelts. So the lady this morning, beaver pelts, the larger ones, I picked 2 that had the same density and the same kind of color of fur and that were roughly the same size. And there are 2 of the larger ones. And if you can carefully cut your pattern or piece stuff together, which should be, as long as you get the hair in the same direction, should work fairly good. You should be able to get a pair. You may have to stitch a leg hole or an eye hole or something like that. And that's just so disgusting. So I just said that so nonchalantly. Just you may have to stitch a leg hole or an eye hole. But I think you could probably, if you're not making giant mittens, if you're just making normal mitts, like not 4-wheeler mitts or something, you should be able to get, well, hey, pretty big. Hey, pretty big. So, like a lap blanket. Oh, that's nice. Where was that this morning, Kim? We should have took these when we had to go out and it was only like 17 degrees. He's pretty. But I found 2 that were roughly the same color, same fur density, and as close as I could get to. They were pretty close, doggone it. And they were both pretty thick. This one may be a little thicker, but they're both pretty thick. And this will be Hang on, I've got them. You know how you notch pig's ears? Well, I've notched these things right here. Okay. The most dense one will be big boy number 1, and the one that looks just like him would be big boy number 2. I've notched my zip ties so I can read the numbers, like you would a pig's ear, so you know which number your pigs are. I'm just so weird, I know. But I'm gonna get these on here the next hour, I'd say, and get them up so that she can look at those. I know she's wanting to make her some mittens, so. And I have to sell them by quality and size. So the smaller ones go for like display or small craft items. They'll be cheaper. The bigger ones are a little bit more expensive because they're garment quality. I mean, they're just butter. Because they're garment quality, they do take a little bit more extra time and effort to get them there. And so that's your time again. Now, are we going to be as expensive as most people on it? No. I can't for the life of me see why some people bill stuff the way that it boggles my mind. Hey, Colin, tell her I understand. I took a shower the other night. Let me tell you what, that's at the farthest end of the house. And that's the one time I cranked the furnace up and I was like in and out and super fast. And I was like, nope. We're just washing today. We're not doing the extra stuff. And I was in and out in no time. It's too cold here for that. And then I don't want to get my hair super wet because you know how my ears and my mastoids do. And I was like, I'm not going to end up with mastoiditis over this. And so my hair is clean. I did wash it the other day, but I washed it Tuesday night. So it's doing good, pretty good. But I don't like these, like I have Raynaud's. And so if I get, in the shower, I get super hot, then come out and get super cold, I will pass out. So if a huge temperature change, I will just, And so I've just been barely surviving the last little bit, and I hate this winter weather. It's not friendly for my hips and legs, and dealing with a fire is definitely not fun for me. But I will say I've been toasty warm. Hi, Ashley. I need extra. I do. I've lost too much weight, Heather. I lost the weight, and now I'm cold. Boy, Sabrina has been on a tangent on her channel, hasn't she? On the Odyssey platform, Synergy. She's been putting out some really awesome videos, especially over some of the stuff that's going on. And I'm so proud of her. She just can sit back and say, I told you. And I'm just like, you go, girl. It's been a weird winter. Hi, Denise. Bigfoot season. That's what we're going to start calling it that, Denise. That's what we're going to start calling it. That's cute. Yeah, but it's been the weirdest winter so far. And I just wanted to pop on and say, we're here. We've just been through a lot. Been dealing with a lot of stuff that eats up my energy. And David's been in the first shed. If he's not working, he's out there, bless his heart. He builds a fire and stays out there and has been working on skulls and getting some stuff fleshed and done. If he's not going, he's not happy. So he's doing something all the time. And I'm going to get these beaver pelts put on Etsy, and then I'm going to crash for a little while. I'm going to try to get some raccoons and maybe a bobcat or two on in the next day or two. We do have a couple of bobcats that are really pretty. They're really pretty, and I just need to put them on. I need to measure them and put them on. In the pictures I put on, I always put a measuring tape over so you can see how large the pelt is that you're buying. So there shouldn't be any questions, but if you have questions, you can always email me or send a message through Etsy. It's completely fine. Oh, Sabrina, Colin, it's Sabrina Wallace, and she's on the Odyssey platform, Odyssee, under Synergy, Psinergy. If you search Synergy, her channel will pop up. Go watch her. She's just so smart. If y'all have heard me talk about her, she is so smart. Like, listens to the thing in like 2 and 2.5 times the speed, processes information. Like, her brain works. I'm so jealous. It works so much better than mine. And we think opposite, but we kind of share an umbrella of how we view things. And so we become really good friends, and she's just burning it up. I mean, she's just been working her butt off. Matter of fact, I've been trying to go, hello, are you okay? And she's just been working so hard. I've not heard a reply yet. So hopefully she'll get back with me soon. But if you have time, go to the Odyssey platform and look up Synergy, and your mind will be blown. The things that she tells you. There's a lot of people on YouTube that are using what's going on to generate clicks, and it's sad. That homesteading off the grid, that guy, I believe most of what he says is probably the truth, but his behavior sometimes I just don't like the way he presents stuff. Because sometimes he does put out gag reels, and a lot of his content over Bigfoot and stuff is just kind of he's playing, and so it's hard to always take him serious. But I will say that a lot of his information is good. The information he gets from other people is good. I don't always like that he takes people's stories that they submit via email and he turns them into books on Amazon and makes money. And I'm like, dude, that's if you're going to write a book, write a book. If you're going to get other people's, then get the appropriate paperwork signed. But anyway, he's been a little bit of a turd because he doesn't play well with others. If you share his content, he will copyright you. And it's like, dude, you could get thousands more views if people share your work, but he won't allow it. He'll do a copyright violation. So I don't know. He's just weird. Okay, Kim, be careful. If you, Colin, I think you'd probably like her very analytical mind. She worked in well, she was one of the people that helped bring the internet to worldwide. And it's so she brought it from you have to be hardwired and linked up to where everybody can get on and Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and go at it. She's very smart. She's so smart that she figured out what they were doing and spoke up about it and was immediately smacked down for it. And she tells her own story on her channel, but she's so smart. She's so smart. Oh, Colin, you're being silly. You're rousing me. I'm trying to get everybody to go watch her because a lot of the stuff we deal with in the news media is fluff. And they tell us that stuff because it's what they can easily control. If you dig beyond the fluff, like beyond the noise, and get to the actual messages of what's going on in our country, then you can kind of understand. Like somebody said the other day, they said, well, those drones that are being flown are not ours. I said, come again? He goes, well, they're not ours. They belong to another country. I said, no, they've got to belong to us. And he said, well, how can you make that determination? I said, because somebody in Florida, I believe it was, one of the southern states, shot at one, hit it, caused it to crash land. And our government, our federal and state and local governments and police showed up and charged him at a federal, state, and local level for the crime of doing that. But if it wasn't their property, they say, well, you're not supposed to shoot at aircraft or unmanned. What do you know what it is? If you can't identify it, how do you know that it's what it is? That's putting a lot of trust in, eyesight, which mine's going. I got my glasses today, and oh my gosh, they're so thick. They're so thick. I've turned into one of those. I'm going to have to get used to them. I think I'm going to rock Temu glasses. I swear I am. I think they do better. These are really good, crisper reading. But as far as everyday crafting, the Temu glasses work. I think they're far superior and much cheaper. So, but here's the thing. If there's a gap there of prosecuting somebody, and they were prosecuting for damages. Okay, damages means there's a victim. The victim means that you own the property. Therefore, the property must have been the property of the federal, state, or local government. Or else they couldn't have put those charges there. And the guy was like, oh. I said, yeah. I said, beyond just shooting at something, not able to identify it. I said, they could have charged him with that, but they charged him for damages. If you don't own it, you can't charge for damages. So obviously it belongs to our nation. And just sometimes the simple things that people glaze over, I'm like, did you happen to pick that up back there? Go back, But I'm just sitting here going, come on, people, pay attention. It's the little things that get us. Like the truck bombing incident at Trump Tower. There's so much there that's so sketchy. And listen, when you get these big romanticized stories, normally it's just a crock of crap. Okay, because let me tell you something. Real people that are going to commit real crimes, that are going to do it real gritty, they're not going to take all this time and create this whole mesmerizing, fantastical tale. They're just going to do something stupid, and we're going to have to deal with the consequences of it. So every time they kind of bring in another layer, I'm like, and somebody said, how did you know that, because I've said that Luigi Mangione, I don't think he shot anybody. I don't. Or if he did, he was paid or made to be propaganda. And they're like, why do you think that? I said, because he carved something into the bullet. Nobody has that time. If you're truly upset about something, you're not going to take the time to carve something in a bullet, because your mind is not thinking about the finite details. Your mind is thinking about, one action, not the details, not how it's going to be thought out and viewed by everybody. You're just thinking about one thing. And people just don't take time to do things like that. I sat at a circle with military veterans, and they were like, you're right. Nobody does. And so it's just strange. I think we're seeing a lot of crap in our nation right now, and I'm not happy about it. Well, if they were foreign, our military, they would have to come in, and therefore our military would see them as a threat. They don't see them as a threat because they're domestic. They're being brought in, within parameters that the military is like, well, it's not, an entry that we've watched that we can barricade. They're here now. They're domestic. What do we do with them? And they may be paid for and owned at the end of the day by another nation. But I do believe that we've been, like, everybody asked me in 2020 about the election after Biden won. They said, I said that was the biggest transaction in history we've ever seen. And they said, really, what was sold? I said, we were. Our nation was. And if y'all don't see that, he gave George Soros an award. I don't know how everybody is just like glazing over that one. He gave George Soros an award. And I'm just sitting here going, people, wake up. He's literally trying to bankrupt us. He's trying to screw things over so that when Trump gets in, he's going to have to be so busy taking care of and undoing and trying to build back just the basic economy and basic law and order. He's not going to be able to do anything terribly important. And they know it, and that's why he's doing it. And I'm just like, okay, whoever's got his remote, let's sit on him and the people that's got the remote, because I'm getting tired of this. I'm getting tired of watching people sleep in tents and starve and not know if they're going to get paid for their home that got swept away and get paid for the land that is now in a flood zone. I'm getting tired of watching those people not know what tomorrow is holding for them, not having any aid, and then watching, millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars just float out. He sent 2 or 3 dispatches to Ukraine since the North Carolina event, but they don't have any money to help people in North Carolina. I call bullcrap. Bullcrap. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating. I know. I don't like. How can you justify George Soros getting any kind of award? All he is a burr under the saddle blanket of every nation that he has stepped foot on or thinks about. That man is a blight. Like he is basically kudzu. He just takes over and envelops the world in nastiness. I hate kudzu. But I'm like, how can you justify an award being given to that man who's done so much wrong in his lifetime? How can you justify that? But give him an award. I'm boggled. I'm boggled. And the sad thing is we probably won't know half of the truth of what's actually going on. We kind of have to sit here and guess and try to and I'm just going to tell y'all, listen, we're batteries. We are electrical batteries. We are batteries. They use us to send signals through, to bounce signals off of us. They use it to augment our function, to modify us on a cellular level. We are nothing but a power source and a play pretty for the people that run our nation. That's the nicest way I could put it. And people that don't understand that, they're like, well, I'm not an electrical being. Oh, so every time you go to the doctor and they do an EKG or an EEG, or they put that thing on your finger to do your pulse, and really, the only reason they can do those things is because you have electrical pulse in your body. Your body's electrical. And people just don't. They think they are so smart, but we have really dumbed down America so much that they can't understand the smallest things. And so bye, Denise. It's good to see you. It's very troubling to watch how stupid America has gotten. Probably, call them. They probably want us to. And they don't even have pretty women with them. So, where's all the pretty women with the funny names? And it's just, America has turned into a sandbox where all the bullies have come to collaborate. And I'm, for one, am saying, no, it's time to go home. Stop stealing everybody's lunch monies and go the frick home. So I'm just like, it's time to stop. So, but I hear David, he's fixing to have to go to town. I'm going to put these beaver pelts on. I wanted to pop on, let you know we're still here. It's just been these 2 weeks have been rough, y'all. Between losing Oscar, losing a lot of sleep with the wood stove and the weather, then having another secondary winter storm fixing to hit us. I've not even got Haley's, my daughter's, Christmas box mailed, because every time I get better and I think, oh, there's going to be a warm day, I'm going to run to the post office. It's not a warm day and I can't run to the post office. Our post office is going through changes right now. It's rough anyway. But I love my country, but it's like having a brand new car that's like the nicest car in the world, but you never bathe it. And so when you see it, it may be the nicest car in the world, but it's dirty, and it needs to be spit shined. And I think America needs to be dusted off and spit shined a little bit, because we've collected some dirt along the way. I'm not ever eating Ben and Jerry's again. They're getting people to rally and go to a protest against Trump. But then on their other page, they say we just have to work together. We have more in common. Then on the other page you click on, come join our protest. Your ice cream. Shut up. Your ice cream. Not even good ice cream. Shut up. And then Lever 2000. Unilever owns Ben and Jerry's. And Lever 2000 is the parent country of one of the parent countries of companies of Unilever. I'll never buy Lever 2000 again. Sometimes I buy it. And he's unloading wood. If you hear the house shake, that's what he's doing. But I won't anymore, because now I know that's one of the companies that is funneling money to Ben and Jerry's and making all this. David just came in doing a dance. Y'all missed it.
You missed a lot of stuff.
He says I miss a lot of stuff. You're ready to go. The keys are up here.
They miss a lot of stuff.
Well, y'all miss a lot of stuff. I have unfortunately witnessed it all for you. He's dancing again.
Get out of the house.
The keys are up here. Do you want me to get them?
Oh, I'll get them.
Okay. But yeah, Lever 2000 is one of the parent companies that made Unilever, which funds money to Ben and Jerry's and owns Ben and Jerry's. And I'm just sitting here going, your ice cream. Oh, Heather Moon says, let's see you dance, Dave.
What's it pay?
He said, what's it pay? I'm good with analogies. Sometimes if you're not country, you won't get them. But if you're country, they're going to stick. You letting your feet dry off? We've got snow that has turned into ice. Well, it's ice now. It's congealed into ice. And every once in a while, you'll hear a piece slide from somewhere on the roof, slide down. And I'm like, really? It got warm enough that it's actually rolling down the house, though. So I'm happy about that. It's been the roughest 2 weeks. It's like Oscar died, and then like the world just went boom. And I'm like, really? So it's just been a weird couple weeks. But I am here. I put nails on this morning to make myself feel better. When I got back from the doctor, I thought, I'm going to put some nails on. They're zebra striped, and I need to put a top coat on them. But I put nails on. I thought, I'm going to make myself feel better. I'm going to try to get a nap in, because I'm not sleeping much at night with the wood stove. I'm trying to get a nap in here in a minute, and then I'm going to gather tools and stuff and pick up, and so I can sit you down and get a view of where I'm working. I'm gonna let you see the end results of where I make that mantle, and y'all will see what I go through and the mistakes I make and how I get through them and decisions. And I mean, it's not gonna be a flattering video. I'm gonna look like this making a fur mantle, but if y'all watch me, you watch me for the crafting and not for the aesthetics of me. And bless your heart if you do. But we will be having a Temu haul. Like I said, Temu had to pay me for a lot of the packages that did not get in. They took 30 or 40 days to get here. It was insane. So we do have a Temu haul coming on them. And the only thing that I have got in the last few weeks is this ring because my other one was getting too big. And literally got this for like $3.79 or $4. I followed it for like 2 weeks until I got it super cheap. And I had one here's one that, I had this one like it. And it's about to break. If y'all can see that, look what I did to my ring. That's how I feel right now. But I had to replace it, so I got a bigger, stronger one so that maybe I won't break this one. I ruin things. It's what I do. I'm really good at it. Oh, now YouTube's gonna hold. Oh, it glitched. $4. I think it was like 7 or 8, but I had a little bit of cash left on Temu Cash and got it. That's pretty though. I mean, I'm not gonna wear expensive jewelry. I kill things. But we're gonna be making the fur mantle. I need to get some scrap leather. I will turn it and they will watch you dance.
What have you been doing in the bigger box?
I'm getting out. That lady emailed me. She wanted large pelts. I got these 2 big boys out that match. She's wanting to make mints for herself. So I'm fixing to put them on Etsy. So if you've been watching my live, you'd know that he's dancing again. I'm going to turn
around here.
I'm going. Oh my God.
I ain't bashful.
Was it the 4-wheeler, the motorcycle? I know. It's entertaining, isn't it? You never know what he's going to do.
That's right.
The big winter boots on his feet.
Yeah, I know. I can't get my legs up. Too heavy.
They said he can't dance, put his legs up. They're too heavy.
If I was in my Crocs.
Yeah, I bought him Crocs as a joke because I didn't think he'd like them. He wears them all the time.
Headlights now.
And for Christmas, I got him the little Croc headlights.
It's too hot in here. I gotta get out.
Okay, did you get the keys?
I got the keys.
Okay, be careful.
Yeah. I gotta get me I gotta get some drinks.
Oh, go ahead.
And then I need to get me a small Tupperware thing before I can set some stuff in here to thaw out.
Did y'all hear that? He's gonna set stuff in here to thaw out.
Hey, I gotta work.
My home.
Why did you say that?
No, you can go right ahead. I'm used to it. My brother was taxidermist, so we constantly have stuff thawing out. But it's so cold, it won't thaw out in the fur shed until he gets a fire going. We can't keep a fire going all the time out there. And then at night, when it gets cold again, everything freezes back.
Just go off tonight.
So I guess, yeah, I let it kind of go right now because it's got some warm in there.
Yeah, it'll probably get cold a little bit later.
Oh, yeah, it's going to get cold tonight. It's not going to get as cold, but it get cold. Got everything? He's doing the pocket pat dance.
Well,
Checking.
they're right here at the phone.
Yeah, I got this ring and I got me and Mom one of these.
Everything's ready?
Everything's ready. Yeah, you're good to go. I got me and Mom, when I got this ring, I got me and Mom one of these. And we had, what it is it's got the grandkids and her great grandkids. It's got a kid's name on each bead. And she had another one and she broke it right before Christmas. And so when I ordered this ring, I ordered this. And she brought it to me yesterday. It'd been at her house. I just sent the package to her house and I just said, I'll grab mine next time I get out. And they brought it. She brought it up here and put it in the mailbox for me. And so I got it yesterday. And I like it. They're loose and they move around. So it's good weight though. I like a weighted bracelet. And but I got those two together. That's all I've gotten. Because I've just been everything's been stalled. And so I've just waited for stuff to come in. Now, local warehouse stuff has still come in. The Temu free shipping stuff has been in customs having a heyday. And it's just now starting to get here. But I did do an order. Some of it's local warehouse. And I'll set it aside. And as I get it, we'll do a Temu haul. I'll have a fairly decent one when it all gets here. And one of the larger packages is from Temu, so we'll see how long it takes to get here and see if they've sped anything up. I think a lot of it's local mail because our local post office, has been crap. They had to do some. They had to renegotiate the space because it's a small place. They had to do some repairs, and they shut down for several days. And when David went back to mail, that trail riding picture that I painted was purchased, and he went to mail that. And normally, if we have something that's an odd size, we'll just get a box there. It's just better, or take 2 boxes together there. They had like 3 boxes in the whole building, no bubble wrap, no padded supplies. And so I emailed the lady that bought it. I was like, hey, if it doesn't get there, if it has any problems, let me know, because they had no supplies to pad it or anything. So we got the tightest box and wedged it in there and wrapped another around the end and kind of Frankenstein the box. And I was just like, this is not professional. But we got it to her and everything was okay. It was just a pain in the butt. But they said that they were supposed to have everything restocked. It was the end of last week. So, and that's the closest one. The one in town has like got a ton of stairs, and the disabled ramp is a mile and a half long. And I'm just like, I'd rather jump to this one that's closer. But it's amazing that the post office had no bubble wrap, 3 boxes. And so I've started saving boxes again. And so my whole house is taken over by boxes. It's a pain in the butt. But I want to just know I was live, just some of the headaches we've had the last couple of weeks. You're a better person than I am. I wouldn't be doing anything outdoors. It is. I've got too much wrong with me to be out in this weather. Now David loves it. Like he went out and put his traps out because everything's going to go to den tonight. Stay denned up tomorrow, probably the next day too, and then they're going to come out hungry. So he's trying to take advantage of them coming out hungry, and there'll be traps and snares waiting for him. Of course, if anything, he does get snared. I mean, if he gets in one of his big traps and dies, it's just going to freeze. It's not going to harm it. But we're going to take advantage of the coyotes denning up. And so when they pop back out after the snowstorm leaves, they're going to be hungry, and he's going to hope that he's got several snared. So, yeah, everything's frozen here. The last winter I remember like this was the winter we had the big blizzard, and it stayed cold that whole winter. And I had used lambing, and I had to literally wrap my barn in plastic wrap and clean the floor out to the dirt, and like so I could have a kerosene heater so I could warm my lambs after they were born and dry them so they wouldn't die. And I was 14, out of school for a month with the blizzard. We had 6 to 10 foot snow drifts. It's been snowing here for the last couple of days. It didn't snow today, but it snowed the last couple of days. And it's just because it hangs on the mountain, and when it tries to go over, it has to dump. So we get snow when there's nothing on radar. And I'm telling you that we're either going to get nothing or we're going to get buried with this one. We're right now on the edge where we've got a winter storm warning. We're like one of the last counties that has it. But they say that they'll probably extend on through. And I'm just like, okay, we're either going to get nothing or a ton, because they never get it right. They never, ever get it right. And I'm just hoping that we don't have another winter where we get another blizzard like that one. I was out of school for about a month. Forgot my locker combination. Had every lamb born during that snowstorm. Had every ewe just drop and go into labor. And I was like, really? And had a St. Bernard he jumped into the snow thinking it was solid, and it like gobbled him up, and he ran out. He was terrified of snow after that. The biggest dog, and he thought he was that big. He was such a little pansy. Yeah, don't eat the yellow snow. Oh, and I've told everybody here, don't make snow cream this year. And they're like, why not? And I said, listen, all the crap that was flushed down with Helene, it's all been evaporated back up into the atmosphere. It's still churning. It's still everywhere around us. It's in groundwater. It's still going up. Therefore, it's going to be coming back down. Don't eat snow cream this year. So I've been telling everybody here, don't eat snow cream. You don't know what's in it. And they're like, oh, that didn't bother us here. What? Atmosphere, groundwater, water gets up, condensation. Literally, it's the same raindrop over and over and over again. But people just don't think like that. I know I heard something when I was in high school probably grade school, said that we've all been on the world and breathed, we breathe so much and so many breaths in our lifetime that we've all, probably breathe the same air that Mozart and Beethoven and all these other, you probably breathe the air that somebody else is, famous has breathed. And I thought, wow, that stuck with me. That stuck with me all these years. But people have a hard time seeing that cycle of a raindrop, and it just goes up and comes back down, and goes back up, comes back down. But it takes stuff out of the soil when it gets into the soil and the ground, and then it comes. Yeah, I wouldn't eat snow cream this year. I just wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, people are. I'm just like, listen, y'all. I mean, if like I said, like the day after Helene, if people there are eating, drinking out of springs, you need to be above the table so that you're not drinking a polluted well. You need to be up on the highest, you know, the highest little spring you can find, and stay far away and up above the water. But then once it gets sucked up and rained, and basically everything's polluted. It's just less polluted up higher because it all goes back down to the groundwater. But everything you gotta think where all that water has gone. I pulled it all up, put it back down. Where's it all traveled? All that wind spinning, and between Ohio, the train wreck in Ohio, the plastics company in Georgia, and this in North Carolina, Tennessee's just been in a churn. And I just wouldn't eat snow cream. I've not ate it in several years, but I've been telling people don't eat snow cream this year. Don't ever. Yeah, black dogs. It's exactly. And people look at me and when I say stuff like that, and I'm like, you don't understand, do you? Like, you don't understand, do you? You've never been out and saw how some of these creeks and stuff get churned into each other. But then you've got to think about stuff that's coming out, raining in other places. It's anything that's in the atmosphere is going to end up in that water, and that water is going to end back up in our ground, and that ground. I mean, it's just going to keep going and going and going, and it's just going to get faded out. And I dare say, whatever happened in North Carolina has probably landed on most of America and probably some foreign shores by now too, because it's just going to travel with the weather. Yeah, Annette, that's true. I keep a few of those emergency, like 10,000-gallon filters. I keep a few of those on hand. And just if something goes, something goes wrong, you can filter some water until you come up with a better plan. We have a freshwater spring behind us, but it needs to be dug out. It's the last few years, it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of gotten overwhelmed, I think, with the rainwater and stuff. We need to dig it out. But we have a freshwater spring and a creek behind us. But a lot of people don't know where the springs are in their counties. They don't know where the water source comes from. They don't know how it runs. They don't. And I find that completely stupid. You should know where the water table is, where the safe places in your area are. You should know how the water drains, the watershed pattern, pathways. Maybe it's because I'm on the edge of Del Hollow and they buried half of our area to make Del Hollow. We've still got complete cities underwater in Del Hollow, but I'm a little bit leery of water and the way it travels. I don't like it. Yeah, sand. You need to have one that's got, 5 or 6 layers if possible. And charcoal. We got a lot of charcoal here in our area. You can literally just you can pull coal and then burn it and get charcoal. So you can refilter something several times in that process. But so we've got a lot of coal that is just in the ground. You can pull it, you can burn it, get you some really pure charcoal, and put that in the mix. People don't think about these things. You know, even if you just run it through, moss, grass, big gravels, and sand, that's going to help a lot. As opposed to nothing at all. That's going to catch a lot of stuff that you don't need to have in your system. So, but I'm one of those. Me and my brother would constantly build stupid stuff like that. We were kids. We were always outside, so we would test our theories and stuff. And but now when we build them, we'd put 5 or 6 layers in them. We'd get really creative. But I mean, it worked. It worked. Yeah, Annette. And a lot of people don't even know how to find coal anymore. And I'm like, You never drive the roads and see an edge of line of coal running through a vein? Never. Never. And if nothing else, start you a fire pit in the backyard. Don't burn anything, nasty. Burn only clean stuff in it, clean wood and stuff. And then in the season, put your charcoal up. Dig it out and put it up. You might need it. So, like we do anymore. You haven't. But you can't drive 5 miles without seeing a bunch of charcoal here. We were coal land back in the day, though. So I know people that still, have the coal burning stoves that go and dig their own charcoal or dig their own coal in the winter, and that's why in a lot of outhouses in the Midwest, the Upper South, the Midwest, and the West, a lot of the old outhouses, you'll have a layer of use, a layer of trash, and a layer of coal, where they'd empty their coals down into the outhouse because thinking that the coal eventually would help the smell. So they put lime. You see a layer of lime where they lime it in the summer, and then you see a use layer and trash layer because they threw their trash down the outhouse. And then you'll see a layer of coal in the winter where they empty their ashes, and it all solidifies. And I watched that guy that Askjen, Tom Askjen, 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 and he digs old outhouses in the West to find really neat antiques and stuff. And a lot of people don't understand that, and a lot of people here still kind of live like that. We live real simple, and people dig their own coal and burn it and then throw their ashes out. A lot of people still have outhouses around here. A lot of people have them as a secondary, or a lot of people have them as a fluke, but a lot of people still have them that are used. A lot of the park services use them. They're still around. When I worked at the wilderness camp, that's the only toilets we have where we used outhouses. So, and you lime them in the summer to keep them from stinking, and you can put, charcoal in them, and it helps a lot. And it needs to be cold when you put it in there, but probably did, yeah. What did Amy say? Amy, gotcha. We'll definitely keep you in our thoughts and prayers. Yeah, LA does not look good. And I'll end on this one, then I'm gonna have to go and stoke my fire back up. LA and California routinely has forest fires. Start looking at the forest fires and where they occur. They're starting to occur every year in the same place, which biologically should be less prone due to the recent burn. Now, I've seen video of satellite feed from these fires starting. It looked like they all started at the exact same time. Impossible. Like they all lit at the same time. Impossible, unless there were arsonists standing there going, okay, you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. It's impossible. And then the fact that there's no water in the reservoir, Maui, again. But if you look at the water several years ago had been diverted to a rich people's reservoir so they could use it for something. And then when they banked extra water, they sold it back to the city in the reservoir. That was a highfalutin, backhanded piece of crap deal done just to benefit them because they used the water in their company somehow in their businesses. And whatever they banked extra, they then sold back to the city for the reservoir. So they asked the city to let me have this water, and the city said, okay, you can use it for your business. And when they would bank extra, I'll sell it to you. That's our water anyway, you hooch. Just give it back. So these millionaires became more rich basically by theft of water. Well, that's why there's no water. It had been diverted for the smelts fish. Mr. Newsom wanted to encourage the smelt to reestablish itself in the area. So all the extra water had been diverted and had been sent out to keep these little fish alive. I wonder if he thinks he's smart now. There's so much hair gel on that man's head, you probably don't know what day it is. Something had to happen. There had to be energy there of some kind, Heather, because fire takes energy too. We all know that, right? There has to be a combustion. Something has to be there to start it. So I'm just kind of going, too many coincidences. It's not a coincidence. It's something that is coming and happening at fault or because of someone else. That's it. Unblock, talk, shut, shield. I'm so glad y'all watched Sabrina. Well, Black Dog, that's true, but sometimes the smartest people that come up with error, and they don't come up with simplistic ways of making things occur. They have to come up with ways that can be doctored, augmented, or pocket somebody millions of dollars. And it's irritating to watch it happen because I'm sitting here watching, going, "How in the crap? What?" And I know everybody that knows about that water move because Obama paid them like $700,000 to create the place where they wanted it sent to use the water. Like he handed no, no. I I'm just shocked. I'm still waiting for more to come in on the Trump Tower guy because that ain't over. They might try to take care of it out of sight, out of mind, but something's going to happen there because they're going to have to come out and say, we either lied to you or here's the guy. Because let me tell you what, people saying, oh, he was burnt so bad they couldn't recognize him. No, a blast will not do that to a body, okay? Listen, retired parole officer, I have seen people that have been murdered and set on fire. I've read the autopsies, had to get the information to the judge. It takes a sustained heat of a certain level for hours to consume a body. You ever cooked anything on a spit over fire? There you go. Takes a long time to get it done, right? Now, not only get it done, let's burn it to a crisp so that nothing remains. That's a lot. That's a lot. Especially something as big as a human, that's a lot. So don't tell me you couldn't identify him in any way. No. But his passport wasn't burned? I mean, they think we're retarded. They really do. That is a story we all need to hear. It is. I may do a community post to let y'all tell your stories. I may do that. Yeah, and Heather, I was sitting there going, and then they start bringing stuff out that was barely burnt, and I'm like, because that was in an enclosed space, so anything in there when it rolled, it's going to be consumed because it's going to burn the fire, then it's going to burn the gases. So there's going to be multiple chambers of fire going, but it's not going to be a long-term burn. And I was like, no, if it burned long enough to make him unidentifiable, then everything else would have been gone. And I'm just like, no, you can't lie to us. That was not enough of a burn to consume a body. I am sorry. No. But, we live, where we don't understand these things. We live in this romantic world where we only see movies and everything, and if something looks like a movie skit, it's probably not true. Because things like that rarely happen in real life. Normally, the story is less sensational or way more sensational. Depends on who's behind it. But I was just sitting here going, people, don't y'all know the basics? I mean, you cook a chicken in the oven. Now, how long does that take to do a whole chicken? It takes a while. Do a turkey. We just went through Thanksgiving. It takes a while just to get it to the edible place of being done. Now let's charcoal brick at it, How long do you think that would take? Okay, now we're talking about somebody that's how many times bigger? But it was just a kaboom, and not even a really good kaboom. I mean, he had a V-bid, but it was a very low level. He just wanted to make an annoyance and a spectacle. He wasn't out to harm anybody on the outside, I don't believe. But it was more of a spectacle. And our government, and the guy that, the other guy that was the New Orleans guy, where they were in his apartment in 24 hours letting the media walk through with nothing sectioned off, nothing had been removed. It would take months to process somebody's home as a crime scene, like to get all the information as what he was thinking the 24 hours before he did this. It would take months to process that information and take everything apart and label it and tag it and have it there so that when you process the crime, you can go back and say, oh, let's cross-reference this with the things we found in his home. It would take months to do it right. A whole home. They had the media in there less than 24 hours later, letting them just stomp through his home, going, this is the man's house. No. Because then you contaminate the crime scene, and did somebody move this? What was that touched? Did somebody take something? You don't do that, people. You don't do it. I was sitting there going, well, that was a lie. So it's just weird. It's just weird. Annette, yeah, the LA homeless, yeah. It's like there's so many still missing in North Carolina too, and there are people that will never be found. And sadly, it's the people that slip through the cracks that are ones that are harmed the most in this because they don't have anyone to champion their cause. They don't have a home to be tied to, a vehicle, someone else looking for them. They're just bodies. Okay, so how long is it going to know? How long is it going to be before we know that there were other people consumed by these fires? Because nobody's looking for them, nobody's talking about them, nobody cares. How sad is that? At least we have names of people looking for people in North Carolina, but I will say we probably have way more in North Carolina than being reported because there is a homeless population and a roving artist population and some substance abuse groups in that area that the society kind of turns a blind eye to. Well, those people got swept up in all that too. It's just kind of shameful to see how society looks at all this and to know that there are people that are in the middle of this that are killed in the middle of this that will never have anybody looking for them or never be held, nobody will ever be held accountable because nobody's there to champion their cause. It's just really sad. It's just really sad. How much does it take though to do that, Colin? I was looking in on that the other day. Oh yeah, what is it? It's like 600 or between 600 and 800,000 people go missing each year in the United States. People just don't want to, understand what's happening. They want to see with rose-colored glasses and see all the good things, but in order to keep this country good, you have to talk about and see and be very blunt about the bad that's going on. Because if you don't talk about it, you don't make people aware, then they don't know what's going on, therefore we can't correct it. And for a number of years, we've not talked about the bad going on. Although I was glad to see that there are some surgeons being sued by some post-trans individuals they had surgery way too early and they're coming back and saying they were kind of pushed to champion the cause. Yeah, been nice if you listen to people saying, hey, just hang out for a few years, let's go through this a little bit slower, make sure that your brain is completely formed before you make a life-altering decision. And I was a bigot, just because I was worried about your long-term success as a human being. I was a bigot. Now I don't look like much of a bigot, do I? I look like the person that was flashing the orange light you should have listened to. I'm not out to tell people how to live. I'm out to say, hey, if you're going to make a major decision, you need to have a fully formed brain. You need to understand the social and physical ramifications of your choice, and you need to research it for a lengthy amount of time before you make that decision. I'm not a bigot, just if you're going to do it, be dedicated, because we can't have this. We can't have people coming back and suing and backlash. And, it's good to see that people are now showing that they were pushed and prodded to do these things, but it's going to screw up our medical system even more. So now we've got to go through this. We went and had these growing pains, had people just chilled the crap out and thought about decisions. I understand you were uncomfortable in the midst of this, but everybody's uncomfortable. Life is uncomfortable. That's what prods you to grow and change and augment your way of being. And sometimes growing and changing does not mean surgically. It just means growing and changing up here and here. And we've forgotten as a society how to do that, I believe. I'm just now pulling out of it, and I'm still really tired. Get through this winter storm. Give me a couple nights to sleep where I'm not up every little bit checking the stove and putting wood in the stove. The one thing I do is when David goes to bed, I tell him to sleep, because we've not known until like 5 a.m. if they're going to try to work or not, which they've not worked very much. But when he lays down, I know he has to sleep because he has to go to work. So I do the night shift. And then if he has to go to work, well, I do the day shift too. And I catch a little, nap when I can, when the fire's stable and burning low. I'll catch a little nap. But I've not slept a whole lot. But he needs to do what he's doing. And so I just have kind of said, okay, I'll bear this burden. And he's going to come back and let me take a good nap, and then I'll be up again tonight. And it's just, it's just what you do. I could let my furnace run, but I'm cheap and I'm not going to. It just clicked on. It's fixing to click on. But I'm just trying to keep my electric bill down. And it's just been what I've had to do the last couple of weeks is just keep the fire going, let him sleep, and keep everybody fed. And otherwise, I'd have probably been back down the mountain. But when it gets this cold, if I'm not here, then David has to come in, build a fire, warm up the back end, because our back end of the house, the addition, is basically a cabin. We live real simple here, people. And so he'd have to either shut that off and sleep in the other bedroom that I'm in, or he would have to come in, build a fire, warm it up, do everything he needs to do around the house. And when he works those long hours, he just can't do that. So it was logical for me to stay put, work the wood stove, keep the house warm, make a few meals, and then when it levels back out, I'll go back down the hill and do some stuff down there. My brother got the builder got his house dried in. They got the roof on before the snow hit, and so he's officially working on the inside now. So he's moving right along, doing pretty good. It's been a weird winter with everybody's in the middle of transition. It seems it's just been a weird winter. Of course, now that I'm glad I didn't really go back, because if Dad was going to get sick, I didn't want to walk into it again. So I guess I'm lucky I didn't go back down there, because I'd probably be sick again too if I'd been down there. But I'm okay. I'll go down there when it warms up and everybody's healthy again. And then is when the weather breaks, we'll get Hondo here and let him play and see what's going on. It's just been a rough winter. I still wake up and think I've heard Oscar, or I get up and I can hear what should be, because I'm used to hearing his footsteps behind me. So I get up, and in my head, I still am ready for those sounds. And so my head will almost replay them, even though I don't hear them. I hear them up here. And so it's been hard, and some of his stuff I've kept because Hondo can use it. I'm not going to throw away expensive stuff that I've purchased. It can go to the next dog. But then the other stuff that I've got, like I had ordered him a new collar that didn't get here in time for Christmas. I'd ordered him two. I got him the blue rhinestone, and then I got him another Oscar collar. And it came in the other day, and I just sat and looked at it. Didn't have the heart to. I put it up with one of my other dog's collars that I've kept after he passed away. And I just didn't have the heart to deal with it. It's just been hard. So, but the weather has literally, the moment he passed away, the weather shifted, and it's been ugly here. It's been ugly ever since. And I know a lot of it's probably what I'm going through mentally with losing him and dealing with the loss and the grieving. It's made the weather seem worse, because when you're in it, everything else is in it too up here, And so I've tried to enjoy the sunshine, find things to laugh about, do stuff to pull my head out of it. But then when we get hit with sickness, and then these winter storm after winter storm, it's just like, okay, I'm done, But it'll perk up. This is my childhood winters, and I have to give it to my mother. I have to give props to my mama, because when we had winter storms, she would put on a pot of beans or a pot of soup, or we'd cook something on the stove. If the electricity's out, we'd turn on all our hurricane lights, and we'd sit around and we'd do crafts, or we'd find a project to work on that we'd been wanting to do but hadn't had the time to do. And now, since we were all snowed in and stuck at home, we'd do it. And she would make the best. And I know that they were meals that she was pulling out of the cabinets to make. She was trying to use stuff in the cabinets, but she would make the best meals. And it was just a long day with something cooking on the stove all day. The house smelled good. It was warm. And we were all safe there together. And we would do a craft or do a project or work on things we needed to work on. It didn't matter if the electricity was on or off. And that was always like the nicest days when I was a kid. And it's been hard for me, like, to up and down cooking and doing stuff. It's been hard on me because my body after a little while goes, I'm done. You're gonna have to take a nap, lady. We're take you out. And so I don't deal with it as well. But I have tried to make good hearty meals and keep the house smelling like, cinnamon rolls or chili, or something smells good when you come home. It's warm. And the last few nights where it's been 10 or around through there, I've just had to really sit close to the stove and keep it rolling. And you can tell because my living room and kitchen looks horrible. But I'll catch them. I'll catch them when the weather clears. I'll catch it when the weather clears. That's all you can do. And, but it's just the last 2 weeks been hard, y'all. And I know a lot of it's not having Oscar. I don't make it too awful spicy, but I like a good bowl of hot chili or a good bowl of hot soup. The cinnamon rolls I made were really good. I've been wanting to put together some peasant bread. I made some a couple weeks ago, and I've just not had the motivation to make any more. I do have my mother's yeast roll, sweet roll recipe, and I'm going to be doing a video to show y'all how to make the sweet rolls. I'm just going to have time because it's going to take me a long time to film it, but it's a whole day process to get the 2 proofs on the dough and everything and get it ready to go. So that'll be a long day of recording when I do that. But to do this fermental, I'm just going to set my iPad up, let it tape straight through. You're going to see it all. I'm not going to look good. I'm going to be here working. So be prepared to see slouchy clothes and, sleepy eyes because that's just where I am right now. But I'm just going to set it up and let it record me working. And y'all can just watch me build that fermental and see how I do it. Because I'm still kind of questioning certain things. I'm not going to know until I start doing it to how I'm going to navigate those things. But I thought it'd be interesting, give y'all something to think about. I've got those stables, they need to be used. And if I can help somebody not have to pay $224, I can't believe people would charge that for those. Like, whoa. So I'm going to make mine much more affordable for people that want to go to a Renaissance fair and look the part. Sometimes people on Etsy get a little carried away with the prices. It concerns me. God, let's start. I don't mind putting cornbread together. You ever done, what's it called? The boiled cornbread? Where you pour boiling water into the meal, cook it while you're stirring it in the boiling water, and then you drop it and fry it. You can bake it too, but you normally drop it and fry it. It's like hush puppies, but without the extra hush puppy stuff. Boy, that's an old way, and it made it a little bit more digestible, but it's an old way of cooking them. And I got the hankering from those the other day. I don't know where in the world it came from, but I got the hankering for those the other day. And I'm wanting to learn how to make, I think they call it pemmican, which is what the soldiers and pioneers lived on for weeks and weeks and weeks at a time. It had everything in it that you'd need for your body to work. And there are recipes out there, and I thought about researching that and trying to make some pemmican. I think that's what it's called. Pemmican. I think that's what it's called. But I've been looking at that. That's something I would be interested just to make, just to have something put up, that has a long shelf life, because it has a really long shelf life. So I may look into that too. But right now, with it so cold, I really feel like I'm in a cave because I have winterized all the windows that get the wind. That room in there gets so hot with the stove. I've not done that, but the house has been really warm, but all the windows are drawn, and it's just like you're in a cave. And so I'm ready for the weather to change. So maybe after this storm goes through tomorrow, which I will give you updates as long as I can, maybe when the storm goes through tomorrow, the weather will flare up a little bit. I did see 40 twice in the next weather stretch, so maybe we're going to hold at the higher temperatures. I just need a break from all this. I'm just tired. So I need a change. I've been doing the same routine, the same exhausted routine for a couple weeks now, and it's like I need a change. But I'm doing better than I would have a few years ago, so I can't fuss. I can't fuss. So, well, that's about all. I need to shut up and let y'all get back to your day. But in case anybody wanted to know where I was, I know Gypsy probably thought I'd die because we just got sick, and then sickness with what we've been dealing with and the temperatures, it just took us a long time to get back to plumb. And I'm not really sure I'm back to plumb yet. It may be a few more weeks before I get back there, but I'm going. And worried about mom and dad because now dad's sick, which means mom will inevitably get sick. She normally does. And she's always the last one to get sick, though. Mothers normally are, aren't they? So it's just been a weird couple weeks. And I know a lot of that's probably due to my house changing because Oscar's not here. Routine changing, sounds changing, everything changing. But man, it's been rough. It's been rough. Oh, I'm looking at oh, I need to write that. There's a channel, a guy that does a channel on YouTube. He has got a local church. They interviewed the pastor the other day. I've been watching them for a long time. And I think if we make it to, I think we should have made it to 100 with Colin's donation and stuff. Thank you, Colin. Honey, sweetie, you don't need to do that. Lord have mercy. I'm just gonna be sending you something across the pond, bless your heart. But when they cut that first check, you have to get to $100 before they cut you a check. So we were at 90, almost 91 when I started this live stream. We've had people donate. So we should be above that. So when they cut that check, whatever date they cut that check, as soon as I get it, then probably over half of that will be going to one of the churches, one of the community centers in North Carolina. It's not going to go to a big organization. It's going to go to one of the smaller churches. That seems to be the best way to get community outreach and to feed people right now. I did the first round. I did a couple of smaller ones, but I did Samaritan's Purse for a big chunk of it. And while I think that was the right thing to do, I think right now the churches are the place to put your money because they're the ones feeding the most people. I think Samaritan's Purse is still doing great stuff, but these churches are getting in the backwoods to people that haven't come out to ask for mainstream help from anybody. So I'm going to go. He's got a page, and I need to share it the next time I see it show up. He gives updates, and I've been following and I've been vetting everything that he's saying. And I know that what he's saying is true. I know it's the church. I know that it's the pastor. There's two pastors. And I see feedback from people that are being fed, clothed, and helped by these churches. And so I think that's going to be the next place we send the money. And I will share in the community tab his page the next time it shows up. It's Deep River something other, I think. Very sweet old man who just kind of got bum rushed into the YouTube world because he wanted to do updates on the North Carolina stuff and to let people know what the church needed to be given out. So I think that's going to be where the next donation goes. And it, maybe in a few months with David making more content and he's kind of taken over a little bit because I'm just tired. Winter is not my best season. If I'm still making something, yeah, we'll make it. If I want to show you the weather, we'll still show it. But like for content, he's probably his trapping and fur and stuff like that. It's going to be probably the bulk of the channel, unless I'm doing a craft thing. And he's just wanting and hoping that in a few months we'll be generating enough to where we can send bigger amounts. Because I didn't want to ever monetize my channel. I just didn't. It's not anything I ever wanted to do. But then I started thinking about all the views I get in a month and how many people that would feed. And then at the point I couldn't justify not monetizing it. Because that's money that I could get there that in any other way I couldn't. So it's just, I don't know. And, we may do this for a while while people are being fed. And if it goes well, that's great. And then it may be such thing as when the need is not there anymore that we stop the monetization. I don't know. David is all for this, though. He's kind of got gung-ho when he saw that we really can create revenue to donate. And so he's kind of been like, oh, yeah, okay, this is going to work. And I'm like, yeah. So as we are able to get back out and he's back out to trapping and doing stuff, which he did put traps out today, but it'll be Saturday, Sunday before anything starts to stir. But as soon as he has another trapping video, I'll upload that. I need to do more shorts because they create good revenue. His Cody dog that wouldn't shut up, that talked and talked and talked, that one got over 800 views. That generated quite a bit. So the shorts have been doing really well. If it's under 9 minutes, they won't put ads in it, and I can't get monetization on those. So I have to there's still stuff I want to tell you, so I'll just do a short video. But if I need monetization to create revenue, then I try to hang on to his stuff and put it into groups and do it as a bigger video. And that way we can get the ad revenue coming in. And that's been going pretty good. It seems like there's a few people have come back to do multiple ads, the same people. And so that must be, I have the ad free right now because I don't like commercials. So if you're seeing repeat ads of a certain type, that's probably the ones that are coming back. Not had any problems with YouTube so far. So I hope that continues. And it's just learning how to get the biggest bang for your buck as far as getting revenue and getting the views. And I don't think of things in a financial way all the time. I'm just like, oh, I want to share this with y'all. I'm going to make a video. So I'm learning to retrain my brain going, oh, you need 9 minutes. No, you better do that in short. So I'm learning how to make sure it's always generating money. And I'm getting better at it. It's not something I really like to think about. But if it's going to feed people that don't have a pot to pee in right now, I'll do it. It's not going to bother me. Did you? Oh, look, Ashley. Yeah, it's too cold to enjoy your new babies on the farm. It is. Ridge Homestead. Okay, I'll check that out, Ned. Also, the Presley sisters, from that Celebrating Appalachia channel, they have that's her daughters, the Presley sisters. They have a list of resources too, and they've been really helpful. I'll check the picture. Yeah, it's just too cold to enjoy the new babies on the farm. It really is. It's a dry. It hurts your sinuses cold. It's not a normal winter cold. It's a dry, angry, hurt you cold. I'm not enjoying that at all. So, but I'm gonna get in here and stoke up the fire, and I had to let it cool down a little bit. I got it too hot back there. I'm notorious for getting it too warm. But I'm gonna get the fire going a little bit more and get ready for the temp to start dropping. And I'm gonna take a nap because I'll be up all night. So David's gonna eat a pizza in the oven tonight, which I've been cooking a lot, so he won't fuss too much. He's gonna eat a pizza in the oven tonight, and I'm gonna sleep. That's what's gonna happen. She's awesome, and she used to do a Celebrating Appalachia used to do a vlog. What is the Blind Pig and the Acorn? That sounds right. I may have said it completely wrong though. She's awesome, and her little girls, of course, they're famous for singing. They're twins, and they have a really good channel too. The Presley sisters, they have a really good channel. I enjoy their content, and they're young. I remember being young and taking over the Sunday school teacher position and I remember doing all those things too. And now I'm older, and it's kind of fun to watch the next crew of kids come up and do the same thing. And it's nice to watch them staying kind of in the norm for Appalachia, and it's nice to see them grow up and still be sheltered, and it's just nice. And they're both married and starting to have families, and I just enjoy watching them grow up. I really do. Oh yeah, the Presley girls are awesome. And they put a lot of snippets of them singing in there too, and I like to listen to them sing. So they sing independently a lot. They sing together a lot too, and lots of times they'll sit the phone in the pew at church when they're singing in church. I enjoy listening to that a lot. Had fun last time I was down at Mom's. We did that Christmas singing. That was fun too. We were laughing at ourselves that day. We were just playing. It was hilarious. Dad was having a hard time playing the guitar. His hands were cramping. We were so far out of practice. It was pathetic, but we had fun. And if you ever want to know how my mom learned the way she fragments the words and drops the tone, it's called shape singing. And if you live anywhere near Appalachia, you grew up, and you would sometimes still have the person stand at the head of the church, and so you could see one that was doing the beat, and then one would sometimes hold up the shape boards, or they were in your hymnal, so you'd know what shape. It's shape singing. It's diamonds, crosses. There's 4 or 5 of them, and it's the shape of your mouth, and then the guy's counting how long you hold it out. And for a long time, that's how people sang in Appalachia. So you just pick up the drop off of the notes and stuff from the shape singing. So if you want to go down a rabbit hole tonight, look up shape singing. You can go down that rabbit hole and then listen to a couple of shape singing, and you can still hear it in my mom's singing. It's just entrenched in Appalachia. You can still hear it in a lot of the people that sing in churches. So you can just still hear it. Really, Annette? Oh, that's neat. But anyway, so that's I think the mailman was on the porch. That's something else to think about and look into. But we'll be back with some stuff. Just let us get through this next winter storm. It's kissing Memphis right now. So in the morning, we'll be in the thick of it. I will try to do little shorts and updates for you to let you know what I'm dealing with. I'm not going to enjoy it, but y'all might. And then if the temperatures get back to normal, we'll get back to normal. We're just hunkered down here surviving. Got plenty of food, plenty of water. I always keep the house well stocked. Yeah, that was the mailman. Always keep the house well stocked in the winter. And we just live like that. Oh, there comes Dave. We just live like that. So we're good. Don't worry about us. But we're hunkered down, just getting through the winter. Really, Annette? Well, that's neat. See, I didn't think anybody'd know about that. But yeah, you can hear it still very heavily entrenched in Appalachia. Okay, I'm going to shut up. Y'all have a great night. Colin, Gypsy, bless y'all's heart. Y'all are, bless y'all's heart. I'm trying to keep track of Colin. He's donated so much. He's just gonna get free stuff. But we're doing good. The channel's doing good. And so I'm hoping when they cut the next check, of course, y'all will be in the middle of it. We'll let you know what's going on and let you know where it's sent. And right now, I'm going to take a nap and get ready for tonight and tomorrow. And be prepared. You're going to get weather updates tomorrow. Should be fun for y'all. Not so much for me, but I'm going to put it there for y'all to enjoy. And we'll see what this winter storm's going to do. Not looking forward to it. I do have my glasses, so if electricity goes out, I can still read. I have candles and flashlights. Thank you. God, my hair hit me. That was like Plinko. He's dancing again, y'all. Annette, y'all too. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Look for content tomorrow. Share videos. Get the views up. Share them with friends. Put the channel out there. And not that I want any more trolls to come in, but I'd rather deal with the trolls and generate funds for people to eat, so I'll deal with them. But let's just keep sharing away. And David, when he checks snares, he'll do a video the next time. And we'll try to get a new Trapper Day video up. You what?
I said I could have in the morning, but you wouldn't let me.
Well, the snow's supposed to get here really early. He was wanting to go out and check his trap line super early in the morning. It depends on when the snow gets here.
I didn't set nothing.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, you just put him out.
You.
Oh, he just put him out.
I didn't put nothing out. I just made stuff.
Well,
I didn't put no traps out.
Well, we'll see if they're hungry when they come out from this winter storm. That's what we're banking on. We're trying to get some good fur. Take advantage of them
Right
being hungry and being in love right now because everything's in that frame of mind. So take advantage and get some fur in the freezer. That's what's on our mind right now. Okay, I'm going to rest until we do the fur mantle and weather updates. I'll see you then. Y'all take care. I love y'all. Have a great weekend. Yeah, I'm going to be snowed in. Have a great weekend. And we'll try to get something, when the weather warms up, get something together for next week. So we may just have to do it without the leather that I'm going to put underneath it. I can attach that later. So we'll make it work. If nothing else, we'll do some cooking videos. We'll make it work. Okay, y'all. Have a good evening. Pray for everybody in the line of the storm, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Where